Attraction goes far beyond just having a symmetrical face or a chiseled jawline. In fact, being an attractive man encompasses a combination of physical appearance, behavior, confidence, and the energy you give off. If you've ever wondered whether you're the guy who catches eyes and turns heads, here are 5 signs that you're definitely an attractive man, even if you don't always realize it. Number 1, people make prolonged eye contact with you. Attraction is often a complex unspoken language. While some signs are obvious, others reveal themselves in more subtle and subconscious ways. One of the most primal and telling indicators that you might be an attractive man is how others respond to you through eye contact. If you frequently notice that people, especially strangers, make prolonged eye contact with you, it may be more significant than you think. This lingering gaze can be a powerful, instinctive sign that there's something compelling about your presence. Eye contact is one of the earliest forms of non-verbal communication that humans develop. It transcends language, culture, and age. When someone holds your gaze, it often signals interest, curiosity, or admiration. Additionally, the act of maintaining eye contact takes a level of comfort and confidence, which usually doesn't happen without reason when people find someone visually or emotionally appealing. They are naturally inclined to look at them longer, so if you often catch someone locking eyes with you for more than just a polite glance, there's a strong chance your appearance and demeanor are drawing them in. Furthermore, this kind of attention is not always conscious. People aren't necessarily calculating the length of time they look at someone. It's often an automatic response. A prolonged gaze can be a reflection of fascination. It might be your facial features, your energy, or the way you carry yourself that makes someone want to take a longer look. Also, when this happens repeatedly with different people in various situations, it becomes even more telling. It suggests that your attractiveness isn't limited to one person's perception, but resonates more broadly in social settings. Prolonged eye contact can also become a silent invitation, a non-verbal cue that someone is open to connection. It may precede a smile, a conversation, or even an approach. Additionally, when this behavior is paired with other subtle signs like raised eyebrows, a relaxed smile, or slightly dilated pupils, it can amplify the message of attraction. These reactions are involuntary and are often triggered by something or someone that evokes positive feelings. Being the recipient of prolonged eye contact may also affect the way others engage with you. You might notice people seem more attentive when you speak, or they lean in slightly when you're around. This isn't just good manners. It's often a response to the draw they feel toward you. Furthermore, it's worth noting that attractiveness isn't solely about physical features. Confidence, charisma, and the way you hold yourself all contribute to that magnetism others perceive. So the next time you notice someone's eyes lingering on yours a little longer than expected, consider what it might mean. There's a good chance it's not accidental in a world full of distractions. Giving someone your full gaze is a powerful act. And if you're the one receiving it more often than not, it might just be a quiet confirmation that you're indeed an attractive man. Number 2, strangers are friendly or go out of their way to talk to you. Attraction can be a subtle force, something felt more than spoken. And often one of the most telling signs that you're an attractive man comes not from those, but from complete strangers. When people who have no obligation or prior connection to you go out of their way to engage, it's often a reflection of how you are perceived physically and socially. It's important to remember that human beings are naturally drawn to things that please them visually or spark curiosity. If you've noticed that strangers frequently smile at you, strike up conversations out of the blue, or find casual reasons to interact that's not a coincidence, these small moments are often subconscious indicators that people find you appealing in some way. A smile from a passerby isn't just politeness. It can also be a sign that you've caught their eye in a pleasant and noticeable way. Additionally, if people often ask you for directions, even in places where others are clearly available to help, it might not be random. More often than not, people will gravitate towards someone who seems approachable and pleasant to look at. It's a subconscious preference where attractiveness and a sense of warmth go hand in hand. Your physical presence may signal comfort, confidence, or charm, which naturally draws others. In furthermore, comments about your clothing, hair, or even the way you carry yourself can be subtle affirmations of attractiveness. When someone compliments your outfit or notes your style, they're acknowledging that something about your appearance stands out in a good way. These compliments may seem casual, but they're often motivated by more than just a passing interest. People don't typically go out of their way to comment on something unless it genuinely catches their attention. Also pay attention to the energy and tone people bring when they approach you. If their demeanor brightens or they seem genuinely engaged and curious during small talk, it's a sign that your presence has had a positive impact on them. Attractiveness isn't just about symmetry or physique. It's also about the aura you bring into a space and how that energy makes others feel. Ultimately, while attraction is nuanced and subjective, the way strangers treat you can offer meaningful insight. When unfamiliar faces greet you with warmth, take time to talk, or seem eager to make a connection without any clear reason, it's often because they've perceived something compelling about you, whether it's your looks, your vibe, or a combination of both. These interactions are subtle yet powerful reminders that you're more attractive than you might realize. Number 3, you receive compliments regularly. Attractiveness isn't always about chiseled jawlines or perfectly styled hair. Sometimes it reveals itself in the way people respond to you, especially through compliments. If you find yourself frequently on the receiving end of kind words, take notice. It's one of the most telling signs that you may be more attractive than you realize. When people regularly compliment you, they're doing more than just being polite. There's a difference between obligatory pleasantries and genuine admiration. A friend saying, "You always dress well," might seem like a casual remark, but it often signals something deeper. It means your style stands out in a way that people appreciate, and they want you to know. Compliments about your appearance, even when subtle, are often a reflection of how your presence positively affects others. Also, the nature of the compliments matters. When someone tells you there's something about your energy, it's not just a vague statement. That kind of remark suggests a magnetic quality, a vibe, a confidence, a sense of ease. That others are drawn to this type of praise usually comes from people who've noticed how you carry yourself, how you interact, and how you make others feel when you're around. These are often things that can't be faked, and they add an extra layer to your appeal. Additionally, if you often receive compliments about things like your scent or your voice, that's another sign people are tuned into the finer details of your presence. Smell and sound are both powerful sensory experiences. When someone comments on your cologne or the tone of your voice, they're telling you that being around you makes an impression, often a very attractive one. These kinds of observations are rarely made unless someone is paying close attention. Furthermore, the frequency of these compliments plays an important role. 1 or 2 flattering comments may not mean much on their own, but if it's happening regularly from friends, acquaintances, or even strangers, it's likely not a coincidence. People tend to speak up when something consistently catches their attention. If your style, demeanor, or presence keeps drawing admiration, it's a strong sign that others see you as attractive. In the end, compliments serve as little reminders that others are noticing and appreciating your presence, while self-confidence comes from within. Recognizing the way people respond to you can affirm what you might already suspect. You're definitely an attractive man. Number 4, you catch people glancing at you, then quickly looking away. Attractiveness isn't always announced in bold letters, and people rarely walk up to say, "Hey, you're good looking." But there are subtle signals that reveal the truth, and one of the most telling signs is when you catch people glancing at you, only for them to quickly look away when your eyes meet. It might seem small or easy to dismiss, but this behavior speaks volumes about how others perceive you. When someone steals a glance and then immediately shifts their gaze, it's often not just a random movement. This reaction typically stems from a place of admiration. People are naturally drawn to what they find attractive, and the eyes will often wander in that direction without much conscious thought. However, when they realize they've been caught, instinct kicks in. They turn away quickly, almost as if they've been caught doing something they shouldn't. That little flick of the eyes, that sudden interest followed by a retreat, is a telltale sign, not of disinterest, but of admiration they may not want to reveal outright. This subtle dance of glances happens in all kinds of settings, on the street and coffee shops, at the gym, or even during casual hangouts. Also, it's important to note that this isn't limited to romantic interest. People of all genders may look at someone they find aesthetically pleasing, even if it's just in a moment of quiet appreciation. The sudden look away isn't about avoidance, it's more about vulnerability. They don't want to seem obvious, yet they can't help but sneak a look. Additionally, this quick look away can carry a bit of nervousness, especially if the person admiring you isn't used to being open about their attractions. It's a defense mechanism of sorts, a subconscious effort to mask what they feel, even when it shows so clearly on their face and in their eyes. These micro-expressions and subtle movements are often far more honest than words could ever be. Furthermore, when this kind of behavior happens repeatedly, when you consistently notice people giving you quick glances followed by hasty turnaways, it's a strong indicator that you're not just imagining things. These aren't coincidences, they're part of a pattern, and patterns, especially social ones, don't lie. People may not always say what they feel, but their body language rarely keeps secrets in a world where compliments are often kept quiet, and admiration is shown more through action than expression. These quick glances hold weight. If you've been catching people in that split second of admiration followed by a sudden turn of the head, take it for what it is, a sign that you're seen, and not just seen, but noticed. You're likely more attractive than you think. Number 5, people remember you easily. Attraction is often discussed in terms of appearance, jawlines, style, or physical fitness. But there's another subtler and more powerful marker of attractiveness: memorability. If people seem to remember you easily, even after brief encounters, it's not just a coincidence, it's a strong sign that you leave an impression. And that impression is often tied to how attractive you are, not just physically, but in your overall presence. When someone recalls your name, your face, or even a specific interaction with you long after it occurred, it's a clear signal that you've made an impact. Attractive people tend to possess an unspoken magnetism, something in the way they carry themselves, the energy they emit, or the effortless charm in their demeanor. This magnetism doesn't go unnoticed, and more importantly, it doesn't get forgotten. One of the key reasons people remember attractive men is the combination of confidence and authenticity. There's a calm self-assuredness that resonates. It might be in the way you walk into a room with your head held high, how you hold a conversation without trying to dominate it, or even the way you genuinely listen when others speak. These small yet significant actions create a kind of presence that lingers in people's minds. Additionally, your smile, if warm, sincere, and frequent, can become a signature feature that people associate with positivity and comfort. Also, the tone of your voice, your posture, and your eye contact all contribute to how people perceive and remember you. Even your scent, subtle and pleasant, can be a trigger that brings your image back to someone's memory. These details come together to form a lasting impression, one that makes people think there was something about him. Furthermore, being memorable often means you've made someone feel something. whether that's laughter, curiosity, admiration, or inspiration. These emotional responses act like bookmarks in people's minds, tying your face and name to a feeling they enjoyed. And when people enjoy how they felt in your presence, they're likely to remember you fondly. What makes this all so fascinating is that it doesn't rely purely on looks. While physical appearance can initially draw attention, it's the overall impression, the total, that ensures people remember you. Additionally, your ability to connect with others, even in short conversations, suggests an emotional intelligence that many find deeply attractive in a world filled with fleeting interactions and faces that blur together. Being someone who stands out without even trying is a rare quality. So if you've noticed that people often recall your name, bring up past conversations with you, or mention how clearly they remember meeting you, chances are you're not just being polite company, you're leaving a lasting mark. And more often than not, that mark is the quiet yet powerful sign of an attractive man. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for future videos.